Okay, since Palantir was the winner of my vote, I will be doing weekly updates for Palantir now. So this is the first one, and this is Palantir on linear scale. So we can see that it already met the first orange level, right? It met it there, and then this weekly bullish engulfing candle right here just shot above it directly, and essentially that was some resistance with the orange arcs, then almost came back down to retest levels, but didn't quite make it. And if you put on like the Ichimoku here, and if you put on the SMAs as well, you can see that, and the 821, we can see that the reason why it didn't go lower is because there was a lot of support with the baseline and the 21 EMA, that the orange lines right there, to continue the momentum higher and higher, right? It didn't even come back down to retest this orange level or this angle or even the 50-week moving average, right? So the momentum was strong enough to break above the orange arcs, and now the next level here does sit at right up here at $33 on linear scale. So that will be the shorter term target. And you can see now this angle is still resistance, right? Right here, it was trying to be a support, but then ever since it flipped it to resistance. This bullish engulfing tried to flip it again to support, but it could not. So it is now once again resistance. So that level next week kind of sits around 28.78, maybe $29 a wick above, right? And if we put on a Fibonacci right here from the all-time high back in the past on linear scale and down to the low here, we can see that the 618 is right around $30, right? So that should be a magnet for price. And this is also in a new trading range now, right? We can see that it was in the 236. Let me just take off the GAN for you guys. So it was in the 236 to the 0.382, right? You can see it was in between this range for a while. Then this bullish engulfing candle just shot above to the new trading range of 382 to the zero point 0.5, right? And this is the range that Tesla is currently stuck in right now. But the difference is Palantir is currently breaking out of that range, and it just broke out last week. And ever since then, this is the new trading range, zero point 0.5 to the 618. So that means price should gravitate to that $30 level relatively quickly. The only thing getting in its way right now is this previous high over here, maybe around 29.29. And this week we got up to 28.59. So not quite there yet, but this high right here could also be blocking it from trying to get to that 618 Fibonacci. So things do look great. Could it come back down to the zero point 0.5 fib to retest and go back up? That could be a possibility, but if it ever did that, I would definitely want to accumulate more just because it's in a new trading range. And when we look to the left of the chart, we can see how important that zero point 0.5 level has been, and it should be a great range to start accumulating more, right? But I still think 30 could happen before 25, but we don't know, right? Here it broke out and went to the 50 and back to the 382. So sometimes when things break out, they do like to retest levels. So don't count this out yet. It is a possibility, but the chart is looking really bullish here on linear scale. So let's go to log scale now. So here's the log scale chart here, and I still have the Fibonacci pulled up with the SMAs as well. And before I move on, I just want to show you how bullish the cloud is, the Ichimoku is. It's above the conversion, above the baseline, above the cloud. Cloud is green. Everything is 100% bullish for the Ichimoku, so I'm just going to take that off so you guys can see it or see things more clearly. And before that 618 Fibonacci, when I pull up a Fibonacci here from Palantir on log scale, we can see that the 786 is at also around $29. So it's more confluence that this $29 range should be some resistance for Tesla. And when you look directly to the left, you can see it's almost the exact top of these candles here, which is why it's going to be some resistance. But I still think next week price should gravitate up there. And if it does get rejected, then things could come back down to retest the 7.1 fib right here, which kind of lines up with that linear scale fib as well. But let me just take off the fibs on log scale here, and we'll check out the GAN. And here it is. So this one has been very, very symmetrical. It hit the orange level exactly with this bullish engulfing candle. Then it's been in that range for a long time. Even went back to retest this bottom arc here. Then after that was resistance, right? So this angle was support. Now it's flipped back to resistance, and it's still resistance, right? Just like on linear scale, same situation, right? So could it come back down to that orange level to retest it? It's a possibility because it's around that $25 zone, right? So we cannot count that out. But I think this is like your max pain scenario. So if price got back there, I think lots of opportunities to accumulate more. And what sits next? Well, if price followed up this arc as resistance, or sorry, followed up this angle as resistance, then it would get up to the arc and the angle here, maybe around September, late September of 2024. So right before election time. So that would be like a $35 Palantir. So that wouldn't be too bad to get there in a couple of months, right? So then after that, the next level would be $39, $40 right here around this angle and this arc here. And then price ultimately my target is for Palantir, the next level, right? Since the orange level already hit, the next level sits exactly at $100, maybe 102, 101. That is the target. That's my ultimate target for at least like next year, 2025, maybe into 2026, right? So we'll see. But this chart is really bullish. There's nothing bearish about this chart at all. And we know where support is in the $25 zone. And we know where resistance currently is in the $29, $30 range. But once it breaks that $30 range, I believe things will continue higher and higher to 35, then 40, and then ultimately my target later next year should be around $100 for Palantir.